The eyes of the mighty Caesar are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Any crimes you may have perpetrated against the Legion are hereby forgiven. Caesar will not extend this mercy a second time. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands. Incidentally, it will interest you to know that the man you seek has fled the Strip and is likely making haste for Caesar's camp as we speak. Seek Caesar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The Cursor Lucullus will be waiting.
So, Mr. House doesn't care that one of Caesar's most notorious Legion spies is walking around on the Strip. Either that or his Securitron's AI is too primitive to recognize the threat. Neither answer is particularly comforting. Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I've lost my brains.
I can't say I understand your obsession, but for that, I suppose I'd have to spend a night in your grave. Fine. I'll stick with you. Just remember this. If you want something from Caesar, sooner or later, you'll have to give him his due. Very optimistic of you. You'll make a good follower someday, assuming Caesar doesn't have us both crucified. Short of canceling our imminent travel plans, that's the best thing you could have said. Just be careful. If we travel at Caesar's pleasure, he may not let us out as easily as he lets us in. Et tu, mi amica? I have to commend you on your sense of historical propriety, but have you given more than a passing thought to how we would escape? No disrespect intended, but you weren't the first person to dream up the idea. Just give me a sign when you're about to pull out the dagger so I know when to make a run for the cliffs.
Well, at least the mess is ours to clean up. Wait a minute. Am I going crazy, or are you actually suggesting it might not be bad if the Legion takes over? Okay. I just wanted you to confirm that I'm traveling in the company of an insane fascist. Thanks. What a load of Brahmin shit! Can you believe that guy? Well, yeah. Right. What did I expect? The man's a megalomaniac. He acts like this is some preordained cycle we're returning to. Of all the people who could learn from our past mistakes, he goes and throws all of our knowledge off a cliff. Instead of trying to learn from the past, he recreates it, runs back over the same old barren ground. Of course, Caesar! You can hardly even hold his men responsible, given how they're practically raised to worship him as a living deity. What's the point of surviving the war? Why did the founders of the followers crawl their way out of vaults to bring knowledge back to the wasteland? So we could act like the last 2,000 years didn't happen? Play dress up so we can fight ancient wars all over again? No way is he getting away with this. I'm not letting it happen. You're not letting it happen. Being smart doesn't matter if you're insane. Everything makes sense to Caesar because he's twisted everything to his worldview. He's Caesar reincarnated. The NCR is the corrupt Roman Senate. I wouldn't be surprised if he thought the Colorado River were the new Rubicon. He abdicates responsibility to a myth of historical inevitability. But he's not Caesar. This isn't Rome, and he isn't going to get away with this.
See you around.
A fair point. But from the perspective of someone west of the Colorado, the man is clearly out of his mind. Maybe he didn't intend for things to wind up this way. But that doesn't mean he needs to perpetuate this bizarre anachronistic myth. And it doesn't mean that we should sit by and nod our heads at every absurd, faux Roman casus belli he can dream up. He's a tyrant. The bad kind. And there's no way we're letting him take Hoover Dam.
We're near a Legion slave camp now. I've been here before. Let's get one thing straight. I see any crimson, I'm taking the shot. You don't like that, you're on your own. I don't think I'd hold it against you. We take this boat. It's probably the last one we ever take. I'm ready for that. Are you? That's what the scope's for.
That's the problem. Die, coward! You like that? You're mine!
Thumbs down, you son of a bitch. Caesar's dead. Bet he didn't see this coming when he was having his coffee this morning. Still, it's not gonna stop the Legion. Might not even slow them down. Intel we had back in the NCR said they had a whole succession lined up. They'll replace him as soon as word gets out. The other thing I heard is that he wasn't really commanding the army anymore. Guess we made sure of that. Yeah, it does. But we got these bastards pretty good today. Whatever happens from here on out. We killed that prick in the middle of his fortress. Ought to give the rest of them something to think about.
Don't worry, boss. I'm sure Caesar just wants to invite you over for coffee or something. That's all. I'm glad you decided to off one of the most powerful men in the Mojave. Life was getting boring anyway. Really.
Leo thinks there will be lots more chopping to do now that Caesar is dead. I do hope you'll be careful, Pumpkin.
Careful where you flash that chip of yours. Not sure what kind of caps it's worth, but it's a tempting target.
That chip of yours? I wouldn't wager it on blackjack. Unless the dealer has a 5 or 6 showing.